Lonzo Ball is delayed yet again. Bogdanovich gets traded to Detroit. Rankings for ESPN are just out of this world, and Udoka and the Celtics are going to have a big problem next year. We're going to cover all this and more on another episode of. All right, let's start with Lonzo. So, Lonzo is you had it up. I don't know what the procedure's called, but it's another like
Yeah,
surgery
he
slash
had
procedure,
he had an arthroscopic debridement, I think,
which will
which
be done next.
arthroscopic means it's surgery, so it is surgery. But
Yeah, it's happening
he'll
next or on September 28th. So next Wednesday is when he's getting the surgery done.
right, and he'll be reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks after that. So
So he's already going to miss the first 2 weeks of the season just with that time. And then he's going to get reevaluated. So he probably won't be back at the earliest a month after that. My prediction is he just does not play this season. I think this knee injury, the fact that he's had two surgeries and he hasn't been able to ramp up enough in 8 months now means that this is just some problem that's going to continue to linger. And he's either going to have to learn to play through it or he's just not going to play anymore.
right, we got this same report last year about this same injury that he was going to get surgery and he was going to be back in 4 to 6 weeks. It's like you said, 8 months, 7 months after, and he's getting a new surgery and he'll be out or reevaluated in 4 to 6 weeks. It's really sad. He's such a great player when he's on the court. He's really like the glue to the Bulls' whole offense and defense. He really just puts them together, and him not being on the floor is going to be huge for the Bulls.
Yeah, and,
It's not going to
and
look good.
he was great as always last year, but this is definitely why we got Dragic now.
Yeah,
And I don't know, Kobe needs to make a step. Kobe needs to take a step because I don't want Caruso starting. I think Caruso's much better and has much higher value to come off the bench to start the game than he does to start the.
yeah. I don't think they'll start Caruso. I think they went out and got Dragic because they might want to start him. Maybe you start Io too.
I would start Io halfway through the season, not yet though.
Yeah, I would probably wait on that as well. Still a second round pick last year. And then do you want to start Kobe? Like I don't. I
No,
think he's bad.
I
And
did you see the pic? They posted a picture. He looks huge now, like massive, like stronger. Like I saw, it's the Everything or Chicago Bulls Central
oh
account.
yeah.
Uh,
I haven't seen that.
yeah, he looks bigger. He looks like he's been putting in work. If his handle is better, he needs to be able to handle the ball better, and he needs to be not a good defender, just an improved defender, so he can hold his
Right.
own.
He also needs to
But
become a better
because he
passer.
was good in game one last year of the playoffs, and then he really dropped off after that. But if we can actually get some real production out of him, like 10 points a game, I'd be happy.
Yeah.
But
And we've been looking for that for a while from him. Just some sort of
yeah,
like consistency on a game to game basis. Like we need you to knock down 4 threes a night, shoot 10 or whatever, you
I
know?
need him to have the confidence too, confidence to take it and make it. Because I
Yeah,
think
some games it was there and some games it wasn't. It's
I
kind of
think
weird.
DeMar and all the new additions coming in last year kind of hurt his confidence a bit just because he didn't get as much playing time. Iowa was really outperforming him most of the season. So I need him to have some confidence. If he's confident, I think that's a real shot that he can be a great six man for the Bulls.
Yeah.
But while we're talking about the Bulls, I think this season's not going to be won by Zach LaVine or DeMar DeRozan having 28 a game. I think it's fair to assume that DeRozan regresses. He's not averaging 28 a game.
I agree.
I think that what's this season is going to be what we originally thought last season was going to be. Zach LaVine is the guy. Zach LaVine is our guy. He has the most potential upside still, and he can be the best player and should be the best player on our team.
He
I
has to be.
need I need 26 a game from Zach. I think you'll get 22 from DeMar pretty easily. And then Vooch just needs to get me 18, 19 points. And then if
Yeah,
like
I don't even see like that much for regression from DeMar where he's can only put up 22. I still think he can put up more, but you're right. Zach LaVine is the one who just got this massive max contract. He's just entering his prime. He's 27 years old. He has to be the best player on the team.
yeah, and I don't even think it's that DeMar can't get 28 again. I think it's that he shouldn't have to and shouldn't
Right.
want to. Zach LaVine needs to be like, I need the ball.
Right.
I need to win the game for us now. This is his team. The team goes as far as he will take them. He has top 10, top 15 player talent, but he needs to put it into play and he needs to use it this year. The Bulls didn't make offseason moves like the Celtics did with Brogdon or the Nets did with bringing everyone back plus bringing in guys to support the team.
Right.
Philly brought in PJ Tucker. These other teams got better. The Bulls kept pretty much the same team. So how do you get better? The players on your current team get better. What's that mean? It means
Patrick Williams needs to step up.
Zach LaVine needs to take the step, another step. He needs to be the main guy, and he needs to prove that he can be a main guy. And then, like we keep preaching, Patrick Williams needs to make a step. I don't care if DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine, and Vooch are on your team. He needs to take at least 12 shots a game.
Yes.
The game against Minnesota. Do you remember the game against Minnesota last year? He had 35. It was the last game of the season. He can score. The games 4 and 5. I know they were blowouts and we lost, but he played well in those playoff games. He can score.
Yeah, we've seen it a little bit, and like, dude, if he took the most shots on our team, even if he took more than LaVine DeRozan, I'd be like, I mean, we need it.
I'd be happy in the regular season if we lose a game because Patrick Williams had 28 points and he shot more points than the other guys. Fine. I'd rather have Patrick Williams score 28 and we lose a regular season game when Zach LaVine or DeMar's not playing well. I need games where Patrick Williams says, "Okay, Zach's not hitting, DeMar's not hitting. Let me keep us in the game till the end." Because I think DeMar's probably still a better closer than Zach, just because he's a better decision maker and he drives to the rim more. But I think Zach LaVine should take more shots every game. I think that the ball should be in his hands more. More plays should be run for him. He should be the center of the offense.
I agree with that.
And I want Zach to be in a decision-making role this year, too. I don't want him just to be the scorer and a two-guard, like, slasher, shooter, dunker. I want him to have the ball in his hand, run the pick and roll with Vooch, be a 5 to 6 assists per game type of guy.
He's gonna have to be with Lonzo out. I mean, nobody else makes
he has to.
like Lonzo does, so somebody has to step up.
And then the last thing I think for the Bulls is the defense. Lonzo Ball anchored that defense last year with Caruso. It's just going to be Caruso this year. So the entire group has to be collective. I don't care if DeMar has 55 points. If the guy he's guarding scores 45, then he didn't do a good job. If DeMar DeRozan only scores 20 points, but he plays decent defense, I'm happy.
Yeah, and it does have to be a collective thing. Patrick,
You have no shooting still. So you need to get in the transition. How do you get in transition? You get stops, you get steals.
Right. We came into this offseason needing shooting and big men off the bench. We kind of got our big man in Drummond. I don't know how that's going to really work out. He's a great rebounder. And we didn't get shooting. We just didn't get
None.
shooting. So
But
we'll have
I
to
miss
see
that
how
the
it
most from
goes.
Lonzo.
And
Is
it
his
doesn't
shooting.
help when another 42% 3-point shooter, Lonzo Ball, might not play at all this year. So
Yeah, I think that the Bulls' biggest keys lies in Zach LaVine and Patrick Williams, and then the collective defense as a team. Dragic will run the point well. Dragic has never been called a bad defender. I think Dragic's actually a pretty good, scrappy defender.
yeah,
I think that Io is a great defender. Zach LaVine can be a good defender.
yes.
Vucevic is not a good defender. DeMar is not a good defender, but Patrick Williams is. If you have 3 of the 5 guys in the starting lineup that can be good defenders, and DeMar and Vooch can at least put effort forth, you can hold teams to 105, 110 points a game. And I think the Bulls can score 115 pretty easily too.
I agree with that 100%.
All right, let's talk about Ime Udoka because he had a consensual relationship with someone in the organization, and this is going to result in a possible year suspension from the team.
I think it has been a year expansion, and
Is it confirmed now?
Resign, yeah. So I think the reason he would resign would be to get a job, or like a coaching
job somewhere else
for another team.
Yeah, and we could talk about the logistics behind how the hell this got leaked, because I know for a fact in sports organizations everywhere, there's definitely this going on somewhere else, but it never gets leaked. Boston is stupid. Why? How does this get out of the inner circle that it pertains to? This is just a relationship. It was consensual. It wasn't something that was like Udoka forced himself onto someone. It was a consensual relationship that they had.
A workplace thing that you can't do that. But I do agree at the same time that it was both of their decisions. So
and I understand that, but that's right. But then that can't get leaked. I think if it doesn't get leaked, he doesn't have to get suspended. Then Boston can handle it internally.
How it got leaked, I thought. I mean, it was going to come out anyway that they were suspending him. I don't know if anybody leaked it necessarily.
Well, I mean, I just mean if this doesn't get reported, I guess leaked the wrong word. I mean, if this doesn't get reported, Boston doesn't have to suspend him because they can keep the consequences and stuff in house.
Right.
They can discuss this in house. Not everyone doesn't know what happened. If other people don't know what happens, then they don't have to say, oh, well, maybe he should be suspended for this. Like Boston can handle it on their own. Instead, it got leaked or not leaked, got reported. And since it got reported, now they have to take action for sure.
Yeah, and he's one of the best coaches in the NBA. If people
Oh,
think Boston's going to be just as good as they were without him, they're not correct. He's very good. The adjustments he was making in the Nets, in all the series he was playing, really, he coached a really good playoff run.
yeah, his absence will really hurt them. It's gonna hurt the implementation, sorry, of Malcolm Brogdon into that lineup. It's gonna hurt the development of some of these guys. It's just not like they're not losing their players, so I think Boston's still a top 2 or 3
Oh,
seed in the Eastern Conference.
definitely.
But not having him as a coach is gonna hurt in big games. It's gonna hurt in the playoffs. And it just really is an unfortunate situation for the Celtics, who could have been they're probably a top 3 contender right now in the NBA.
Yeah.
Top 4. And without their
Yeah,
coach, that probably drops them out of the top 3 or 4.
Bottom, they might have the best one in the NBA.
Yeah. And
Sucks. Also, the girl he cheated on, his wife, is Nia Long.
really,
So, yes.
wow.
Yes. Isn't that
Wow.
something?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a really not a dumb situation, but it's just an interesting situation.
Yeah.
That really, really has bad consequences for Boston.
Yeah.
But
It's just a rough spot for the whole organization. And I don't think this is necessarily something that like I think Boston's doing the right thing. They kind of have to do the right thing now.
yeah,
But yeah, you're right. This definitely could have been avoided.
I agree. All right, Bogdanovich got traded to Detroit today for Kelly Olynyk and what was the other guy's name?
Lee, know the name. Jack and I were
I
talking
know
about
you
this
like him a
earlier.
lot. I understand that he's a good young player, but so is Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Killian
Yes,
Hayes,
they don't have a
Nick
spot for
Bay.
him.
They don't need him on that to develop, and Bogdanovich provides a really good veteran guy. If you get to the playoffs, which the Pistons were like my dark horse to be like a play-in team. So
They're
I
really
wouldn't be
good.
shocked if they're going to be a play-in team this year. Bogdanovich provides that veteran type guy for like a play-in / playoff type series. Are they going to make it out of the first round if they make the playoffs? No. But
No.
Cade, Jaden Ivey, Bogdanovich, Jalen Duren, and Sadiq Bey is a starting lineup. Those 5 is a very good starting lineup, and 4 of those guys have potential to be all-stars in this league. Bogdanovich is
Right.
a very steady veteran, and that's it.
And they also have Bagley, who's really good. I think Bagley is a very good NBA player. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah, he's not Luka and he's not Trae Young, but he's good.
yeah, they got him out of Sacramento, so now he has a chance.
Right. Isaiah Stewart's still a really good player. They are very loaded. And they can make the playoffs for sure. Bogdanovich might come off the bench. If I
Really?
had to guess.
Who would
I would
start?
guess Ivy, Cade, Sadiq Bey, Bagley,
And
and then I
Duren
would guess Isaiah Stewart, and they start Duren, or
later?
they start Duren off on the bench.
Okay. I guess I can get behind that. I think Bogdanovich should start just to get run with the
That's
first group,
true.
but I can understand
Is he
why.
like 6'9"?
Yeah, I think he should have gone to a contender too. Like the Bulls, after seeing that trade, why do we not make a fucking call? If we gave them Kobe White, they would have done it immediately, and I would have done that for Kobe White.
Yeah.
Bogdanovich provides shooting, better defense than Kobe White, as a veteran.
Yeah.
They took
I
Kelly
think
Olynyk, and I don't even know the other guy's name, but
Saban Lee.
Sabian Lee,
Maybe.
who gives a fuck? Whatever. He's not good or not good enough. Kobe White's going to be better than him, I feel like. So why did we not make a call? I mean, maybe we did, but by the looks of the trade, we could have easily made this deal.
I agree. What they were kind of looking for was expiring contracts, which is Kelly Olynyk. You get, I think he's like
But
16 million that you
that's
get.
Kobe White too, though. Kobe White's an expiring contract this summer.
Right, but he's also like a situational guy where you're either gonna lose him or you have to pay him 18 million.
Yeah,
He's gonna be
I-
an interesting contract spot this summer. I don't know what the Bulls are gonna do.
not sign him. Do not give him more. than 8 million a
Really.
year. Like
Don't
8 million is the benchmark in my mind for like a
eight.
solid role player, but not good enough to give you more than 10 million. Because
Yeah, and
there's no more $4 million deals in the NBA. That's only vet minimums now. But you can get away with giving Kobe 8 million, and he should not get any more than that.
I agree. And this is the prove it year for him. That's probably why he's grinding so hard. It's a contract year. He's gotta show out if he actually wants more than a veteran minimum for the rest of
Oh,
his
we could
career.
be here this time in 6 months saying that Kobe White is huge this year. He's averaging 16 a game, and he is the sixth man of the year candidate.
That'll be the day.
But we could also be begging the front office to trade him by the trade deadline,
For
which is probably, which is based off what Kobe has showed me, is what I'm going to have to see. And I just don't know
yeah,
why we not entertain the idea of trying to get Bogdanovich, which would have really improved our team.
I agree. I mean, that would be the perfect four off the bench.
Perfect. He can shoot, put him in late game situations. He can shoot. He's not a bad defender. He knows what he's doing. He's been in the playoffs before. Everything the Bulls needed is what he would have
We have
provided.
matched the contracts. Probably Kobe would have matched or gotten close.
No, we'd have to
Yeah,
throw
Derrick
someone.
Jones
We'd have
could
to
have
throw
done it
someone
as
else
well.
in.
What?
Yeah, if we throw in Derrick Jones Jr., we could have matched.
Yeah,
Uh, how much does Jordan Clarkson get paid, by the way? Do you know?
probably 14 million.
I'm
Either
checking his
14
contract right now. He gets
or
paid.
18.
He gets paid only $12 million a year. So if you throw Kobe into that and one more player, you can match. I would look to get him too because Jordan Clarkson is trying to. They're trying to trade him. They're trying to like gut the entire roster.
Yeah, which
So if I'm
yeah,
looking at a guy like Jordan Clarkson to really round out the bench unit because we're missing the score off the bench unless Kobe becomes that. But in my mind right now, we're missing that, and Jordan Clarkson fixes that easy.
yeah, we do need that scoring slash shooting off the bench. That would be the perfect guy to just come in and get us buckets while Levine and DeRozan rest. But I mean, I see Bogdanovich as a better fit than that just because he's 6'8", you know? Like we
Oh,
don't
for sure.
we have two guys on the roster that are 6'10", which is fine, kind of.
Not
But
really. Not
and,
really.
and we have one that's 6'9" in Patrick Williams, and then it's like 6'5" and under. Like we aren't going to be able to rebound. We struggled with it last year. We couldn't do anything against Milwaukee in the playoffs because of
Nothing.
Lopez and Giannis. I mean, we could not get to the paint. And if we can't get to the paint because we can't rebound and we're not a good shooting team, this isn't going to be a good season.
Yeah,
So,
I'm just so worried. I'm so I'm so stressed because like
there's a lot of really good teams in the
right.
East right
It's
now.
not even that we're bad. It's the East is so good.
Yeah,
The East is
that's what.
9 or 10 teams deep this year, maybe even 11. Like
Yeah, I
if you
mean,
throw
if you count
Detroit and New
Detroit, I
York
think
in,
they are 11.
if you threw Detroit and New York in there, we're 11, and the Wizards make it 12 teams deep. Like there's 12 teams in the Eastern Conference this year that could be playing to playoff teams, and I just don't
I
know what's
agree.
gonna happen. And I'm really worried about the Bulls because Lonzo Ball not being there really hurt us last year, and I don't see us being able to make it better. And if we do, great. If Dragic is going to be able to hold down the fort, and Io makes a jump, and Kobe makes a jump, and P. Will makes a jump, and Zach makes a jump, great. We'll probably be a top 4 seed if all that happens, because that'd be insane. I'm hoping
And
2 of
we
the 4
got
guys make a jump when we get the 7 seed.
right, and that's what is that best case scenario.
Yeah, and then Lonzo comes back, and maybe we make noise in the playoffs.
So we got Milwaukee, Boston, Miami, Toronto. Toronto is better than us. Philly, without Lonzo. Brooklyn, Charlotte. We're better than
No,
Charlotte.
we're
Detroit,
better.
Cleveland, Atlanta. That's 9 teams
New
that I
York,
think are
we're
better
better than New York, but you think all
without
those teams?
without saying
You think all those teams are better than us, or just in the playoff hunt?
well in the hunt I wouldn't necessarily say
Because I think there's
Atlanta's
only
a better team than us.
I think there's only 4 teams better than us, and that's like clear, cut and dry, just better. And that's the Bucks, the
Mhm.
Celtics, 76ers, and the Nets. I don't care what everyone's drama around. No, I hate how high people are on the Heat. The Heat are not that good. I know they're the 1 seed last year. I know they made the Eastern Conference Finals, They lost Peter Tucker. The Heat are not going to be that good. Kyle Lowry can't play more than 15 minutes a game without breaking something or like running out of breath. It's just Jimmy Butler versus everyone else. And Jimmy Butler's not a regular season player. He's not. He's going to average 22 points a game and coast them to like the 6th seed.
They're better than us.
No, they're not. No. We play them the first game of the season. We'll win. We win the first game of the season. We win the first game of the season.
No, we're not.
The Zach LaVine you're going to see this year is going to be unreal. He's going to be an MVP talk.
I really hope so. And
Zach LaVine's going to be he will be an MVP talk like DeMar was last year.
MVP talk.
That DeMar was top 5 last year. I think that what?
He kind of was for him and DeMar were like.
Him and DeMar were viewed as the best scoring duo in the league for the first 25, 30 games of the season. Injuries derailed us, and we still are missing Lonzo. But we will be better than the Miami Heat. I hate the hype around the Miami. I don't understand it. It's Spoelstra is a great coach, and they're a great regular season team because Spoelstra gets the best out of his bums. But
he does.
Miami does not scare me on paper. Does Jimmy Butler really scare you? Does Bam Adebayo scare you? Everyone's been saying Bam's going to make the jump for 4 years. He's been the same player since the bubble. He was better in the bubble.
But like he always gives Vooch problems. Vooch always has a terrible game against him.
It's because Vooch is a fucking bum too.
Dwayne Dedmon, better backup center than Drummond.
I do not think so. I think Drummond's on the same level as Dwayne Dedmon. Are you kidding me, Graham? Dude, Dwayne Dedmon is not better than Andre Drummond. Oh my God.
He can shoot. Can he shoot threes?
Who can't? No. The last time I saw him shoot a 3 from the corner, he hit the side of the backboard. Like
he can actually do something on the court besides rebound the ball. Drummond, that's it. That's all.
Drummond's not a bad passer. Don't get me started, Graham. Drummond's not his Shaq in a fool moments, like give him a bad rep, but he's not a bad passer. He is a top 3 rebounder in the league. And that shouldn't even be a debate. Andre Drummond's a top 3 rebounder in the league.
No, he is. And then what else is there about
Miami's got Tyler Hero?
I'm not like Dwayne Dedmon isn't this guy that is just like insane.
I understand like their depth, right? Gabe Vincent, Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson's the worst contract in the NBA, by the way. He doesn't even play. Max Strus is not all that. I don't understand the hype around Max Strus. All you have to do is not let him shoot threes. I haven't seen him take a step inside the 3-point arc without turning the ball over.
Who?
Max Strus, whatever the guy's name is.
Oh, Max Strus. Yeah.
Zach LaVine should lock him up whenever they
better than Derrick Jones?
Yeah. No, he's not. He can do more. He is much better at one thing. He fits Miami because he can shoot, right?
And that's why he's.
But in a one-on-one, talent versus talent, Derrick Jones Jr. beats Max Strus.
100% if they had a one-on-one. But who would you rather have on the Bulls right now?
I'd rather have Max Strus. I agree because he is a niche player. He fits like a certain place.
Have Derrick Jones or Nikola Jovic, the guy they took 26.
See, that's a good question because Nikola Jovic wouldn't play on the Bulls this year.
No,
right?
He wouldn't. But he would.
So I think in the future I'd probably take Jovic, but right now I'm going to take Derrick Jones Jr.
Oladipo.
I like Oladipo, but I don't think he's ever going to be what he was before.
I agree.
Good defender, but he's not explosive enough to get to the rim, and his shot's not good enough for him to be just a pure shooter. His shot he struggled shooting in the playoffs, like a lot.
Miami's going to really struggle to score the ball. I mean,
thank you. I don't see the hype. And then also, God, this fucking talk about the talk about the Hawks, Cavs, and Miami. All these TikTokers are just meat riding. Like, Jesus Christ. The Cavs are not going to be Evan Mobley is not going to be like a prime center that everyone thinks is going to be this year. He's not this year. He's not going to be that this year. You just got Donovan Mitchell, who You just got Donovan Mitchell, who will not pass the ball more than 15 times a game. Donovan Mitchell's going to take 35 shots. But is Donovan Mitchell really going to get Evan Mobley and Jared Allen the ball? No. Is Darius Garland? Yeah. Darius Garland's a really good point guard. But is Darius Garland on the ball as much? No.
No.
Donovan Mitchell averaged 28 points a game on 37 shots. I don't like – and then the Hawks. Have you seen Trey DeJounte work yet? Has anyone seen that work yet? On paper, it sounds great. But that backcourt, DeJounte Murray can't shoot. He can pass, but he can't shoot. Is Trae Young going to be off the ball? No, because he's too good of a passer to play off ball. Trae Young can't guard anyone either. That front court, Clint Capella may be the most overrated center in the NBA.
He's bad.
He's not that good. Vooch kills him every time they play. Look at Vooch's games last year against Atlanta. He had like 23, 22,
Yeah,
24.
but they have like Onyeka Kongwu's really good. I think
He
he's
is real. I like him, but Clint Capella's got the name, right? He's gonna start Clint
yeah.
Capella.
They're gonna start Capella. Um,
I don't know. I think
we're a better team than Atlanta still for sure. I don't see how their roster is better than ours in any way. I mean, they have a good guard duo, but they're 2 point guards. So like that should be weird. I do think Cleveland's better than us though.
not with Lonzo. Not with Lonzo. No,
Yeah, they're still better than us.
no,
They're really good.
no, no,
they, they have
no,
they have Kevin Love off the bench.
no. Who? Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, now
He
I'm
almost won
scared.
6 man last year,
Dude, he's like 75 years old.
but he almost won 6 man.
Who cares?
Me?
He won
No
so
one.
he's like, dude, I don't give a fuck about Kevin Love. I think Donovan Mitchell makes that team better, right? 5 seed. But there's only 4 teams in the Eastern Conference that are actually better than the Bulls, like that I would put over us. That is
Oh
the
my God,
Bucks,
they have
that is the Celtics, that is the Sixers, and that is the Nets. Those 4 teams, I agree. Because you know why? Each one of those teams is a top 5 or top 7 player in the league.
yeah,
No one else in the East does.
yeah.
I think Zach LaVine is better than Donovan Mitchell and will be better than Donovan Mitchell this year.
He is.
Does that mean the Bulls will finish better than them? No. But do I think cut and dry right now that I can just say, oh yeah, the Cavs, Hawks, and Heat are all just better than us? No. I think
No,
the Bulls have a different mentality against the good teams. They really struggled against good teams last year. Complete different
we
mentality
didn't
this
see
year.
Cleveland play together, so we don't know. This is the Bulls' second year running it back together, so they know how each other plays. That's important as well.
Just wait and see Zach LaVine and Patrick Williams this year. I am so high on Zach LaVine going into this season, and I will ride out with it until the end of the season. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And if I'm wrong, the Bulls are like an 8th seed. But if I'm right, the Bulls could be a 4 or 5 seed.
The Cavs have Rubio and Rondo still.
Fuck the Cavs. I don't want to hear it.
Jasmine, Okoro.
I can't wait to watch Donovan Mitchell guard Zach LaVine. It's gonna be like watching a. I don't even want to. God, Donovan Mitchell can't guard anyone. No one. Not a soul.
No, he can't. He's a really bad defender.
I could. If you gave me 10 shots to try and score on Donovan Mitchell, I think I could score 3 of those.
And like so, that's why they have Okoro there because Okoro is going to take the best player every night, and then you just have
And DeMar is gonna cook him. DeMar and Zach will cook Okoro. By the way.
Yeah.
The only problem, and I agree that their big men, like their twin towers, is hard to like get inside the paint. But all that has to happen is Vooch just needs to be able to hit 16 footers. Vooch had the most inconsistent, worst shooting year of his since he's been good last year.
Yeah. At points, teams were just like, we're gonna let him shoot.
Just once he gets his consistent, like mid-range 16-foot shot again, just wait. I still see the Bulls as a 5 seed, and I am 100% biased. But I'm also basing this off of like actual facts, and that these other teams can't be like definitively better than us. I don't see it, especially with Lonzo healthy. Especially with Lonzo healthy.
I agree with that. I mean, the longevity of everybody playing together will be nice.
We
but,
beat the Cavs. We only lost the Cavs once last year, and that was when DeMar was not playing. That was when it was just Lonzo and Zach that game. I remember that.
I went to the Cavs game that
We won that one. Yeah.
and
We won 2 against them. There's one where Patrick Williams returned and one where Caruso returned. And we beat them both times.
Right. I think I went to the Caruso return game. And Caruso was on Darius Garland. Like, Darius Garland was not doing anything.
Oh, it was cookies all day. I think Darius Garland had like 15, 18 points that game or had a terrible shooting night.
Yeah, I think it was a really, really bad shooting night. And we're going to give guys like that. Like, Caruso's going to do that all year. And that's awesome basketball to watch.
Now watch this Zach LaVine like 2-way player come in this year. This is going to be a great year for him and a great year for the roster overall. I agree that I should be worried, and I am a little bit worried, but I also think that I'm going to get the most out of each player.
Yeah, we're going in with the chip, but like nobody has any expectations for us.
We're not even mentioned, and people talk about, wow, these teams are good. Like people have us at 9 and 10 right now. Okay, sure, have us at 9 and 10. You didn't even have us in the playoffs last year, so whatever. Like,
yeah,
Yeah, but that's gonna be all for today's episode. If you want to hear our thoughts on the ESPN top 100 rankings, tune in our TikTok because those are terrible. But now the season's close, preseason, less than a month away, so the games are gonna start soon. Everyone's excited. Can't wait for the season to get going, and we'll see you guys next time.